How did your journey as a pilot begin?
My journey as a pilot began.
How did your parents react when you initially shared your idea or vision of, becoming a pilot?
We had a disagreement initially that how can you skip a ninth standard? That's a main. So that helped me really much in terms of making my decision and continuing with this career.
What are your baby steps? How did you take your initial steps towards reaching your dream or
There
getting into
was
this?
a little bit of struggle, I would say, in the initial because in terms of my relatives or
So, would you like to share any and how did you overcome them?
the challenges was the firstly everyone was not in my favor, I would say, in the initial way. So that
That's
was
the
the
spirit.
belief.
That's a positive thought. Even
Yeah.
I do
So
believe the
that was the
same.
belief. Even if I fail, there was something wrong. That's why I failed.
Hi, Muskan Begum. Welcome to our show. This is Shruti.
Hello. Nice to meet you, Shruti.
Yeah. So we'll start with your introduction first. So
Okay.
can you please introduce yourself? How did this start and how did you, achieve this much?
Sure. Hello, everyone. Myself, Muskan Begum. I'm a commercial pilot and one of the youngest in my city, Hyderabad. And I finished my training in South Africa. I have inspiration of watching planes in the sky. It was a thought of flying aircraft by yourself from the beginning since my childhood.
Mm-hmm.
And then I pursued my training in 2022 from Cape Town, South Africa,
Mm-hmm.
finished in 2024. And as well, I completed my multi engine with instrument rating.
Okay.
Currently, I'm back in India for my conversion to get an Indian license.
Okay. So what is your inspiration to become a pilot?
My inspiration was from the beginning a thought that anyone can own an aircraft and like fly as how you drive a car. So that was my inspiration from the beginning, that getting an aircraft by yourself, flying it, and then later on I got to know that there are different ratings and licenses you have to do for the training. And that's how I moved forward with my commercial training.
Okay. So how did your journey as a pilot begin?
My journey as a pilot began when I was thinking, and then by the time when I was in my 12th, it became a serious issue that, okay, now it's something you have to continue with your future.
Mm-hmm.
Before, my parents was thinking, oh, she's a kid, so, she'll forget it sometime or she'll change her career path. So when I was in 12th, I was so excited to start my training to just get in an aircraft. So even a situation happened, I skipped my ninth standard because
Oh.
I was in so rush to just fly an aircraft. So I got promoted from 8th to 10th. And then I took maths and physics in my 12th. After that, I did my medicals. So the very first thing when you're becoming a pilot, you have to know if you're fit to fly.
Of course.
So I did my medicals and then visa process.
And
Did
everything
my
continued from there.
yeah.
So, when you said that you have skipped one grade to rush into your pilot, how did your parents react when you initially shared your idea or vision of, becoming a pilot?
Yeah. We had a disagreement initially that how can you skip a ninth standard? That's a main core for the 10th. Like that's where teachers prepare you for the higher studies. And then I was like, no, I have to do it. And my mom, she's my biggest inspiration. Everywhere, whatever I say, she's there to support me.
Mm-hmm.
So she was the one who supported me in this decision
Okay.
that to skip. And I was given a few tests to check my knowledge,
Mm-hmm.
and alhamdulillah I passed that, so it was a easier way. And
Okay.
then yeah.
Of course, like in 12th, you have taken it so seriously, but I wanted to know, like, when did this idea hit in your mind, like that you have to become or you may have to try in this way and all? What is that thing that has changed your mind or that has given you the thought or that inspired you? Any situation or any scenario or anything, any story behind that?
Okay.
Because this is not the usual
Yeah.
career choice or the usual thing. being a female, I know how many restrictions we in the society will be facing, and thank God you have good supporting parents, though. So yeah, we would like to know, when did that seed grow in your mind?
Okay. So from the beginning, when people used to ask in my school, there was only question what you want to become, Muskan.
Hmm.
It was clear from my, I think I would say, fourth, fifth standard.
Okay.
From that time, it was clear that every time I say as a pilot, and then my father lives in Qatar.
Mm-hmm.
So every time he used to go airports, so that became
Acha. So
more,
you were fascinated with that
yes.
airports and
So
the
every time I
environment.
go there, it makes my dream more stronger,
Hmm.
and more motivating to work towards it. So that was one thing, and the other thing is like there was no second option. From the beginning it was first,
So
like
you're very
it's
clear in
pilot.
your mind
Yeah.
since then.
So that helped me really much in terms of making my decision and continuing with this career.
Mm-hmm.
So in 12th, like I said, it was from the beginning. So that's how I decided to not study ninth standard. That's how I skipped to,
Okay.
because the by the time it was coming a craze, it wasn't just a dream, because it was from a long time. So it was a dream, and then after 12th, it became a craze. So that's how I continued. I was like, no stopping, no turning back.
Of course. And what are your baby steps? How did you take your initial steps towards reaching your dream or
There
getting into
was a
this?
little bit of struggle, I would say, in the initial,
Mm-hmm.
because in terms of my relatives or my known people, I didn't had any advice. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it was something out of the box being a pilot, because usually if you see in our city, every second person is becoming engineer or doctor, so you know what's the process. So for me, it was searching by myself. I used to watch videos on YouTube, like what's the process, how, where do we go, and all of that. That's how I got to know that you need 12th, and then you need to do medical, and then you need to do exams for Indian Aviation Authority.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how I motivated myself, and I showed myself the path. So there was no one guiding in terms of path.
Okay.
So that was the baby
S-
steps I took in terms of going towards it.
Good. So during your journey towards preparing to be a pilot, um, do you have any challenges? Of course, you might have faced some challenges. So would you like to share any, and how did you overcome them?
The challenges was the firstly, this field is really expensive in terms of getting training done, and getting other certificates and documents as well.
Mm-hmm.
Even the medicals, you have to travel. The exams, I was being traveling, so that was one thing. The financial support I really got from my parents. To be honest, I would say my mom and dad, if they wouldn't have continued in terms of financial support, I wouldn't be here. So
Okay.
it's solely to them, the financial support what they gave to me. And
Mm-hmm.
the other struggle was leaving my country, leaving my family behind, going alone all the way South Africa, who haven't been anywhere. Trust me, before I continued this journey, I haven't been out of Hyderabad.
Okay.
And my first flight I took was going Cape Town. So
Mm-hmm.
that was really a
Challenging one.
challenging for me, going alone, staying there alone.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say, in a way, it shaped me really a new Muskan being
Mm-hmm.
there.
Mm-hmm.
It really grew inside me about taking responsibilities, discipline,
Mm.
and all of that.
I know. When a person travels alone, he learns a lot.
Yeah.
How did your friends and family react when you said that, or when you shared your idea about becoming a pilot?
Everyone was not in my favor, I would say, in the initial
Mm-hmm.
way,
Mm-hmm.
that they were like, why pilot? They were thinking, every time when I say people that I want to go into an aviation field, they expect girls to be air hostess.
Mm-hmm.
So everyone in my school, my friends were like, why don't you do air hostess? That's
Mm.
much better. That's what usually girls take in aviation field. So no one was believing, you will say, and then you will turn on the another career. So friends, I got the response that. And from my family, of course, I'm from a conservative family.
Yeah,
So
I
they
was
were
about to
like,
ask you the same. Coming
yeah,
from a conservative family,
yeah.
what are the other challenges that you have faced, and how did you overcome them?
With the relatives, I really faced difficulties in terms of their words towards me, that like, why girl wants to be a pilot?
Mm-hmm.
That's not a career for a girl.
Mm-hmm.
And why don't she just, they were manipulating my parents, my
Oh,
relatives,
okay.
that how can she travel alone? Like, if you are a pilot, you have to travel everywhere. So
Mm.
that was one thing. And even my parents were a little bit, 50-50, hearing after all of that. But I made myself clear that I want to continue in this career,
Mm-hmm.
and I proved them with my exams and my knowledge.
Okay.
So at one point they agreed.
So, what kind of exams will you be taking? Like when you said after you 12, you'll be going to medicals and then you will be joining uh, whatever.
Yeah.
Uh,
So there is a aviation authority called DGCA in India. So
mm-hmm.
whatever you do, your licensing, your medical, it comes through them. So there are, if you're doing your training in India, there are 6 exams, and if you're doing training in abroad, there are 3 exams. So the main one is these 3 exams, like a general knowledge. It's called
Mm-hmm.
air navigation. That's
Mm-hmm.
about navigating up in the air, and metrology. It's about the weather, and air regulations. It's about the rules what we follow in air. And the other exams are radio telephony, which we speak with the ATC tower, so we need
Mm-hmm.
a license for that as well. And technical general and technical specific, I'll just make it simple. Technical general is for the engine of the aircraft, like engine, electronics, and all of that. And
Mm-hmm.
technical specific, it says the name, it's a exam for the aircraft. So you've been hearing about like Airbus, Boeing, these many manufacturers, Cessna. So which aircraft you're flying, you're taking a rating, you have to write exam for that aircraft, because the specification differs from each
One flight to,
aircraft.
yes.
So that's one thing.
Okay. So, is it like the general course of any other engineering or
Not really.
medical degree, like typical 4 years, or how long is the course actually?
The course can be done in, I would say, 6 to 8 months.
That's it.
And yeah, six to
Mm-hmm.
eight months you will get the training. It's called ground training. And once you're done with that, you apply with a computer number, like a hall ticket,
Mm-hmm.
with DGCA, and then you appear for the exams. Once you're done, the results come in a week or two.
Mm-hmm.
That's all.
Yeah, so Muskan, also I wanted to know what kept you motivated during your difficult times or during the course of your training, or as you said, you were the only one who have went to abroad for training and all. You must be facing so many challenges and all. Somewhere or the other, at some moment, you might have felt depressed or thought like, on the other hand, what could it be and all. So during those times, how did you keep yourself motivated?
In terms of studies, Alhamdulillah, I just like to mention the name, Captain Murtaza. He gave me a ground training, and I would say the best ground training I have ever achieved.
Mm-hmm.
The concepts he teach, it's really on point, and once you study that, you will never forget. So in terms of South African exams, it really helped me. If I wouldn't have been taken classes from there, it would be really difficult for me in terms of education in
Okay.
South Africa. And the other difficulty what I felt being is staying alone.
Mm-hmm.
So there was this one point where I was feeling so lonely, and I was like, I need a vacation, or I need to, once I finished my private license. So I got my private check right done and everything, and then I was like, I want to visit India. It was almost, I think, 8 months something, and then I spoke with my mom, and that's the person who I needs to speak for my motivation. And then she motivated me, Muskan, what did you what did you went there to achieve? I was like, my commercial. And then she's like, do you have commercial? And then I said, no. Then what makes you think you will come back? Until you don't have commercial, you cannot come back, because so that's what you decided to get it done there. So she said some few words about it, and then my energy went up. And then I was like, okay, I'm
So
gonna
she is your
continue.
boost of energy.
Yeah, she's.
Okay.
So yeah, that's one thing. And the other things, to be honest, I would say, if you're believing in yourself, yeah, of course you will feel, how do you say, scared when you're giving exams. What if it does not happen? and the check rides you give with the instructor, that's also something like you have to be on point. They'll check your emergencies and everything. So I just said myself, if it not happens, it will happen at one day. So that made me going forward, because if it's not happening, my god, Allah, he has prepared something for me. If it's not happening if it's not happening in this flight, something bad is there for me, so it will happen in the next flight. So that
That's
was
the
the
spirit. That's
belief.
a positive thought. Even
Yeah,
I do
so
believe the
that was the
same.
belief. Even if I
Mm.
fail, there was something wrong, that's why I failed. So
And there is
next time.
something else better than this which is
Yes.
waiting for you,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, that's a good thought. And also, like you have mentioned that you went to South Africa, right, for your studies and all. When India has so many options
Yeah,
to continue your studies or to be self-sufficient, why did you choose India to get trained here in our own country?
I would say that I don't know, but I heard when I researched, India takes a lot of time to get done the training,
With the
because
training and all?
yeah, there is a schools in Hyderabad, Begumpet Airport, and I searched there. I investigated about the packages and everything, and it was taking me about 2 years and more. So, and also the exposure in South Africa, it's really different in terms of training. The weather there, you fly in every different kind of weathers. It's summer, winter, windy, you fly there. They don't stop you here in South Africa. Here, there are so many specifications for the weather. If something goes wrong, you have to, cancel your flight.
But don't you think that is for a safety reason?
It is, but as a pilot, you have to experience that kind of weather at once in your
Acha, this
life.
is regarding the trainings.
Yes.
Acha, okay.
So that kind of weathers, what South African people take for the risk, it's good. Like, it's of course in safety margin,
Mm.
but as a pilot, you have to experience that weather as well.
Okay.
So that was one thing to choose South Africa, and also the money structure, that it's really expensive in India. It will cost you about, I think, more than 60 lakhs something, just the flying. So, and I was getting done there between 45 to 50. So that made me with accommodation. So that was also the point to choose
So
South Africa.
South Africa is more convenient in
Yes,
terms of
convenient
fee
and
also.
cheaper compared to India,
Mm.
and also quick. So you will get it done by 1 year, 3 months, something there.
Okay. So what do you suggest young fellow juniors or people, youth who are interested into aviation or this kind of field? What inputs would you give them, or what will you tell them to be prepared for from your experience?
Okay. So I would say, if
Also
you
coming
are,
from your community as well.
yeah,
Mm.
I would say the very highest priority in this field is discipline. You have to be really disciplined, and being a pilot, good decision making, because something goes wrong, and your pilot itself is nervous, things not gonna work. So you have to be really good decision making, and professional, focused, and believe in yourself. I would only say one thing, that just not listen others, because they are not stepping in your shoes. It's
Yeah,
you who's gonna walk.
of course.
So I would say not listening others, that really that really helped me a lot. Believing in
Mm.
myself.
Okay.
People say you cannot do, and ask yourself, if you can, you will.
One thing I have observed in you is that you are very much clear in your head since a childhood that you want to become a pilot, and that itself is a driving force for you to achieve so big here or come until here. That's a good thing. So you will be trained in only few specific sets of aircrafts, or in general, all aircraft training will be given. How is your training like?
So the main license which is required for getting ratings, like
Mm.
that is commercial license, the one I'm holding.
Oh,
So once you have that, you are eligible for the charters or airlines or anything, you just need a rating. So rating is, I just mentioned something. When you
Mhm.
fly a different aircraft, you need a specific amount of training to just understand the modifications and the specifications what the aircraft differs from one and another.
Mhm.
So like if you after you're getting done with your commercial, people go for Airbus A320 or
Mm.
A350 something. So you
Mm.
go for a type rating, that will be about 2 months. Like what
What
I
is this
have.
type rating?
So the type rating, if I explain in a basic example, you can drive a car when you have a license, but the license restricts you until the car only. You cannot drive a truck.
That's what, yeah.
Yeah, so
Mhm.
it's like a big thing.
Mhm.
So commercial pilot license is like you can fly an aircraft. You just need a specifications because the engines is being more powerful, and the passengers, so the aircrafts I flew, there are passenger seats, but it's like maximum 6. Yeah, so I get the aircrafts I flew until now. So type rating is something you take a rating for aircraft which you will be flying, like what I mentioned before.
So, with the kind of commercial license that you have, how much can you stretch in, trying different flights? What is your,
You mean currently now without doing rating?
you haven't done rating till now?
Yeah, I haven't in type rating.
That is yet to be done
Yes,
again?
that is yet to be done. So
Done.
I did recently multi-engine rating.
Mm.
So there are two types of licenses. They can be a single engine commercial pilot license and commercial pilot license with multi-engine. Multi-engine is basically with the two more than one engine, two or more, and single engine is the small ones which we use for training purposes.
Okay.
So I recently did my multi-engine. That's also a requirement for when you're flying Airbus or Boeing for the type rating.
Mm-hmm.
So that is done. So the next step will be type rating. So far I didn't do type rating because you don't know what vacancy is going to come in the market with the airlines, because they'll place order and then according to that they will give the vacancies. And if you are done with Boeing and the vacancies are coming for Airbus, you cannot appear for that. You can actually, but then you have to pay another big amount for that rating. That's why.
So, how many flights have you explored so far?
So far I have flown more than 250 hours,
Mm-hmm.
and I flew 100 plus PIC hours. So PIC is like pilot in command. So whatever happens, you are the responsible for that aircraft.
Okay.
So there are dual flights and there are PIC like solo flights.
Okay.
So I have more than 100 hours on my PIC, like taking aircraft by myself, not
All
with
by
the
yourself.
instructors.
Yes.
Yeah, not with the instructor or like none of them. So I did that, and the highest I could say is I flew in a day 6 to 8 hours. Yeah, in the
Completely.
training,
Definitely
like
minimum
one
6 to 8.
stretch 6 to 8. Yeah.
6 to 8 hours. Mm. So,
Uh,
how do you feel when you went solo? And if you compare solo with the
Instructor.
other instructor, so which one is more comfortable, or which one will you enjoy?
I would say that was my the flight I went solo was my best flight ever. So how you do is solo means like there's no one in the aircraft to assist you. You fly by yourself. If something goes wrong, you have to fly. With dual, if something goes wrong, the instructor is responsible. Like he will have the controls to continue the flight. So that's the difference between solo and dual. And my like precious and my best moment in my training was my solo.
Mm.
So how it goes, the you will fly with the instructor initially, and then he will check your landings. So takeoff, it's very easy, anyone can do takeoff, like just the airspeed is alive and you rotate, that's all. But the landing is something which comes in terms of safety factor. So the instructor will sit with you and he will check your three landings, three or like let's say six, and then he says you are good, and then we land. He will not assist in that six landings, and once I land all of that, he's satisfied. He will get out of the aircraft. The engine is still running. He'll just get out of the aircraft and I have never flown before solo. So that's the initial solo. We call it in aviation initial solo.
Okay.
So I haven't been in an aircraft without instructor. So that was the first flight. So he will jump out the aircraft and
This
he
is all between the training period that you are
yes,
talking.
yeah.
I'm asking you when you are actually on field, taking your passengers all by yourself. How did you feel at that time? Like, and that compared with an instructor during your training,
I would say you enjoy more being solo.
being solo.
Yeah.
You can take your own decisions. You
Yes, you
can
can
be
take your own
free.
decisions. The sky is yours wherever you want to go, and like there is no restrictions about the route. You just explore. Oh, okay, that's the area I want to fly. Like it's a quick decision, and you navigate by yourself, do your planning,
That's more
and
dynamic, I guess.
yeah. So
Yes.
I would go with solo hours.
Okay. So we'll go to the funny part of the questions from now.
Okay.
So, how do you feel when you are up in the sky?
Mm, of course, it's
Isn't it scary? Of course, you love and you have fixed in your mind since
yeah,
childhood that you will become a pilot. But there are
yeah,
moments when you get scared enough and you will feel that, oh my god, I am the only responsible person. Are there any
yeah.
moments like that that you have to be very much cautious enough and you're a bit tensed?
I mentioned that in Cape Town you fly with difficult weathers as well. So there was this time I was flying to Port Elizabeth, a town ahead of Cape Town. So we had to fly in between the valleys. So the aircraft, it's not that stable because it's a training aircraft. So between the valleys, you get different kinds of winds, like the names for that winds. So that time I felt a little bit scared because it was really bumpy, and you when the weather is bumpy, you have to be really stable with the controls. Like you cannot just leave. If there is calm winds, yeah, you can like set the trim and all, and you can fly. That time you feel little bit scared because if something goes wrong, the aircraft can, because it's between the mountains, so you have to be really precise. So that was a little bit scary moment for me to control the aircraft.
Do these kind of experiences will be given to you as a challenge to get trained in
Yeah.
also during your training period?
Yes, we do. That's why
Okay.
they send solo, and they let you experience. So it also builds up strength inside your body. Like if I'm flying a aircraft in that windy conditions, the next time I wouldn't be scared if the weather
That's
comes
good.
up like this, like unwanted. Like sometimes the forecast also changes, and if it comes, I am not nervous because I've already experienced that. So it do makes you strong inside.
Okay. So, what is a beautiful place you have flown so far?
Beautiful place. That's a difficult question because all over Cape Town, I flew multiple places. Like I would go with Port Elizabeth, yeah.
Okay.
So because you fly over the ocean, there are lakes, there are mountains on your way. It's really pretty, so mesmerizing. Like if I just close my eyes, I don't want to open it. It's that mesmerizing when you see from the top, and there is this. How can you say mountain, there is this Nesna bungee jumping
Uh huh.
on the, it comes on the left while you're rooting towards it. So that's also really beautiful. The bridge and the lake flows between the mountains. So that's the prettiest thing I have ever seen, I would say.
Okay. So, you'll be flying only through the Cape Town and around those areas, or what all flights you'll be taking? Where will
uh,
you be flying in general?
the maximum stretch I flew in my training is Johannesburg. So Cape Town is the most southern part of the South Africa, and Johannesburg comes on the top. So the maximum I flew was Johannesburg by myself.
You didn't fly anywhere in India?
Not yet. That's the experience I'm gonna take now, because in terms of instructors, the airspaces, it's totally opposite.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll be flying soon in India.
So, do you need any more other ratings like you have mentioned before to fly in India as well, or
Yeah, so I am converting my license to fly in India. You can fly with South African license. You just need to do some paperwork, but you will not get a license.
Okay.
So now I'm currently planning to get a license. So you need to give some checks for Indian license. Whatever I got trained there, I just need to show them here. The
And then do some other formalities if
Yeah,
required, and then you're good to go.
yeah.
So, how long has it been that you have started flying?
I have started in November 2022,
Mm-hmm.
and I finished by 2024 September. I got my commercial that time.
Commercial by 24 September.
Yeah,
And so it's just been a year roughly.
yeah.
So how are you managing your, professional life with your personal life?
It's pretty simple, I would
Is it
say.
flexible enough,
Yeah,
or
it is
is it
flexible.
more demanding unlike the others?
Yeah, it's not like that. Because see, whenever I go to fly, I'm not stressed. I'm not worried like a normal
Okay, so
job
you
or
enjoy your work.
yeah, I'm happy to go there. I'm happy to get my hours done. So it's nothing stress or like worry or what I have to do if I'm not
It's like
there
when
or
you love
something like
your
that.
work, then you
Yeah,
are stress free.
yeah. So it's pretty simple.
Yeah, okay. Okay, that is fine. But how are your working hours being planned in a day? How is it like that?
So currently I'm not working with an airline. I
Mm-hmm.
have did some private company jobs in South Africa,
Mm-hmm.
but that's why I am just gonna get my commercial in India. Then inshallah I'll be applying for the airlines, Indian Airlines, once I get the
So
vacancies.
once you get that, will you be flying across India? I mean, will you be, keeping India as your base, or will you be going back to South Africa again?
Once I'm in airline, I would have to be in India for a while. I think we do sign contracts and all of that, so you cannot just leave like a normal job 1 month
I mean to
notice.
say, what are your future goals and aspirations? What do you want to, or how do you want to take your career growth forward?
So currently, I'm looking to get into an Indian airline. Then once I am having enough experience, I would like to try the higher airlines like Singapore Airlines, Emirates, Qatar Airways. That's
Mhm.
my one of my favorite.
Okay.
So I'm planning at the end to be in that airlines.
Okay. So, who is your biggest role model in this journey of yours?
It's my parents,
Like,
especially my mom.
yeah, it's better.
She has been from the beginning, so she never left my hand. People say that once you grow old, the parents has to stay back, and you have to work yourself for your career. So my mom, she never left my hand. Wherever I go, in terms of my medical exams, visa, she's just next to me. So
Okay.
I would say like my mom is really biggest inspiration. If she wasn't there, I wouldn't be here. Even though I have capabilities, if she wasn't there for me, I wouldn't be here.
Of course, we all need, our family to give us that biggest strength.
Yeah.
And so, one moment from your journey that you'll never forget so far that you have experienced.
I think the very best moment I had was my solo flight.
Yeah,
So I
as
would
you have
like
said.
to say about it that I wasn't expecting that soon it will happen. As I said, the first flight and then later on the training, it comes with the instructor. And the very moment the instructor stepped out of the aircraft, and I was just
How
seeing.
did you feel that moment when he immediately stepped off? Did you guess that, or did you
Yes,
know
it
that?
is being told.
So you are prepared for
Yeah,
that.
we are preparing that one point the instructor has to step out and you are owned by yourself in the aircraft. So he stepped out, and I have been getting difficulties to reach that point, no doubt in that. Getting that confidence, getting that strength that okay, now I'm capable to handle the aircraft, I'm capable to land that aircraft by myself. That was very difficulties. I have been so many rough patches, cried a lot in my room that okay, what's happening, what's wrong happening, why I'm not getting there. So that also happened. So and once he left, what happened is I really felt myself that point when I was waiting at the threshold for the takeoff clearance. Of course, I had scared, but I had that confidence that okay, you are prepared for this, and now's the point. You're gonna uh, go up in the sky alone by yourself. So that was really precious moment. And once I was up there, yo, I couldn't believe myself at that point. Really,
Okay.
that was really special for me. I was feeling myself. I got all the confidence what I had. Like, okay, Muskan, you achieved. It made me also more motivated for my further training. That okay, this is done. Other things also can be done. So that was really mesmerizing
So
for
you
me.
were only there for yourself to brace up, right?
Yes.
So, what would you advise young girls coming from your community also to who are aspiring to become a pilot?
I want to tell all young girls that you can be pilot too, and just stay focused, study hard, and stay fit. Explore aviation. It's a really nice field. It's not only because most of them think it's male dominant. No, it's not. So just believe in yourself. No matter what happens, once you decided, just work towards it, and you will reach your destination. I would just say just don't stop. Believe in yourself.
Okay. What is that one life lesson that you can give out of your experience to the youngsters
I would say listening to yourself.
listening to yourself?
Yeah.
So, Muskan, we'll start with the rapid fire round now,
Okay.
if you're okay.
Yeah.
Shall we?
Yeah.
Okay. One word that describes you as a pilot. It's a rapid fire round.
One word. Unstoppable.
Your favorite aircraft?
A350.
Day flight or night flight?
Night flights.
Cloudy sky or clear blue?
Cloudy sky in my favor.
One dream destination you'd fly to?
Um, Qatar airport.
Airport?
Yeah, to land there. One destination. I would like to land in Qatar.
Okay, then. Thank you for being with us and sharing
Thank
all
you
your
so
valuable
much.
inputs, and all the best to you in your future
Thank
life.
you so much. Hello, everyone. My name is Muskan Begum. I'm a commercial pilot and I finished my training in South Africa. Soon I'll be flying for Indian Airlines. My hobbies are I like driving and I love flying. And of course, a foodie from Hyderabad. Of course, a foodie from Hyderabad, and anyone who is planning to join in this field to become a pilot, I'm very welcome to help you guys. And my Instagram ID is Fly with Muskan. Any assistance, just DM. I'll do reach out for you. Thank you so much.